Tomato soup is the ultimate comfort food for these cold and gloomy months, and Gordon Ramsay's twist on the winter warmer has been deemed irresistible. Paired with a cheese toastie, this rich and gutsy recipe is the ultimate hearty lunch, according to the TV chef, and involves roasting the tomatoes to achieve a big difference in flavor. He discovered how to make the tomato soup even better by creating a pesto to drizzle on the top. Using the unique method of a potato masher on the roasted tomatoes to create a more rustic texture, this soup is perfect for keeping you warm and cozy. In a video online, Gordon Ramsay explained, "Traditionally, you make it in a pot, but it's so much better to start it on top of the stove, searing the tomatoes and the garlic. When it goes in the oven, you actually roast the tomatoes, not stew them, and there's actually a big difference in flavor." Tomato soup recipe. Ingredients for the soup: 1.5 kilograms of sliced tomatoes, 2 sliced red onion, 1 peeled garlic, tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, tablespoon of cayenne pepper, tablespoon of sugar, 100 milliliters of Double Dream, 1 liter of chicken or vegetable stock, salt and pepper, olive oil for cooking for the pesto, pine nuts 75 grams, sun-dried tomatoes 50 grams, grated Parmesan cheese, olive oil, saved sun-dried tomato oil. To serve, it is recommended to pair this dish with cheesy toast. Kitchen equipment: deep baking tray, which is both stove and oven-proof, frying pan, pestle and mortar, stick blender or a potato masher. Instructions. Making the soup. To begin, first, prepare your vegetables. Peel the skin off both your red onion and garlic, and then finely slice both of them up. Your tomatoes will need to be washed and sliced in half as well. Next, preheat your oven to 180 C. Take your stove-proof baking tray and place on the stove at medium-high heat. Add your onions, garlic and cayenne pepper to the tray. Also, add olive oil to coat the vegetables. Gordon Ramsay said, "Be quite generous with the olive oil. It makes the soup nice and glossy." Cook the vegetables for around 3 to 4 minutes. Add your sliced tomatoes to the baking tray and some salt and pepper for taste as well. Add the sugar and balsamic vinegar as well, and Gordon explained that the sugar is used to intensify the sweetness of the tomatoes. Cook the vegetables on a high heat for around 3 to 4 minutes until the tomatoes begin to caramelize. Mix the vegetables together and then place them in the oven for around 20 to 25 minutes. According to Gordon, searing and roasting the vegetables in a baking tray will give your tomato soup a richer flavor and make it even tastier. Once the tomatoes are done, take them out of the oven and place them back on the stove on medium heat. Pour your stock until it sits halfway up the tomatoes and bring to a boil before letting it simmer for around 3 to 4 minutes. Use a wooden spoon to break up the tomatoes easily and stir the mixture while it simmers. Then add the cream and stir it well into the tomato soup mixture, and then continue to let it simmer for around 2 to 3 minutes. Now, either use a potato masher or a stick blender to blend the vegetables. A potato masher will make the soup more rustic, according to Gordon, as it will still have chunky vegetables in it, while a stick blender will completely liquefy the soup. The soup is now ready to eat, and Gordon recommends making some cheesy toast to go along with this ultimate comfort meal. To make the pesto, according to Gordon, the best way to make tomato soup even more irresistible is to make a punchy sun-dried pesto to drizzle on top of the soup. Once your sizzling vegetables are in the oven, start preparing the pesto. Begin by toasting your pine nuts in a frying pan for a few minutes until golden. Put the sun-dried tomatoes in a pestle and mortar until they have completely broken down, but you can also use a spoon or another blunt object as an alternative. Season the sun-dried tomatoes with pepper, and then add the pine nuts and continue to break down until the mixture starts to become creamy. Add a drizzle of olive oil along with some of the oil the sun-dried tomatoes came in to really help make a stunning pesto, according to Gordon. Add the grated Parmesan cheese and continue to grind into a creamy mixture. The pesto is now ready to be placed on top of your rich and creamy tomato soup. Join the Daily Records WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages.